Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'm Arash Adder, and in this video, continuing our Adobe Animate course, I'm going to teach you how to design an animation background. Scene or background design has a big impact on the quality of your animation and how it affects the audience. Before anything else, there are a few points about scene design I should mention. First, there are several ways to design a scene. For example, you can sketch your scene on paper, import that sketch into the software, and trace over it. Or you can build the scene using different objects, like importing a photo of a chair, a photo of a table, and arranging your scene from those elements. But the method I recommend is this: choose a photo that matches the layout you want to create. It can be any image. If you want to design a nature scene, pick a nature photo. If you want to design a room, search various sites for a room photo that's close to your mental design, import it, and then build your layout based on that reference. As an example, I'll import a photo I downloaded earlier. I'll select the image and scale it down a bit so you can see better. I want to create a scene that looks similar to this layout. Right now, the scene isn't cartoony, but once I design it, it will be suitable for making a cartoon/animation and I'll be able to use it. I'll zoom the photo in a bit. Another point, this white frame will be visible in the final output, so I'll enlarge the photo slightly. Also, avoid adding too much detail to the animation scene. There's no need, for instance, to draw the text on a book or overload the scene with tiny details. In this video, we just want to create the background and place a character in the scene. We'll also use shadows to add depth, and in the next lesson I'll show you how to create those shadows. After importing the photo, I'll lock its layer so it doesn't move while we're designing. To make drawing easier, I'll double-click this layer to open the Layer Properties panel, rename the layer to Pick, set its opacity to 50%, and set it to Guide so it won't appear in the final render. Then I'll click OK. This way, the image becomes lighter and it's easier to design over it. For now, I'll return the layer's visibility to normal. In this corner, I want to create a few squares for the scene's colors. Basically, I'm going to pick colors directly from the image, and later I'll apply those colors to the elements I draw. First, I'll create a new layer, choose the rectangle tool, and draw a square. I'll double-click the square and convert it to an object so it keeps both fill and stroke together. Now I'll hold Alt and make two copies. I'll select them all again, hold Alt, and duplicate the whole row once more. I'll name this layer Color. With the free transform tool, I'll select the first square, then use the eyedropper to sample a color from the wall. I'll select the second square and, again with the eyedropper, pick a color from the floor. I'll select the third square and sample a color from this picture frame. Next, I'll grab the sofa color, then the cushion color, and finally I'll assign the carpet/rug color to the last square. Later, if we want, we can always tweak these colors. I'll double-click this color layer as well, set it to Guide so it won't show in the final render, click OK, and lock it so the squares won't move. For the scene design itself, I'll mainly use the pen tool and the line tool. For the wall and the floor, I'll use rectangles. Start with the farthest object in the scene here. The wall sits behind everything. So I'll create a new layer and name it Wall. Using a rectangle, I'll draw the wall. It's totally fine if the shape extends beyond the document, only what's inside the document bounds will be visible. I'll select the wall and use the eyedropper to give it the wall color. I'll right-click on the wall layer and duplicate it. I'll rename the copy to Floor and move it downward. I don't need a stroke, so I'll remove it. I'll position the floor here, select it, and use the eyedropper to give it the floor color. For now, I'll lock and hide the wall layer. I'll set the floor layer's opacity to 50% to make it lighter and adjust its position slightly. Now I'll choose the line tool and draw the lines on the floor. I'll set the stroke thickness to 2 and draw the floor lines. After creating the lines, I'll double-click the floor layer with Free Transform, restore the opacity to normal, and click OK. Now I'll delete the extra line segments. I'll zoom in so you can see better, click each line, and delete it up to where the scene actually exists. I'll select the photo layer and set its opacity to 50%. If I press Ctrl+Enter, you can see we've designed the floor. I'll lock and then hide the floor layer since we don't need it right now. I'll create a new layer and name it Frame, for the wall picture frame. I'll zoom in a bit to draw more precisely and design the frame with the line tool. Once the frame is drawn, I'll choose a color and fill it with the paint bucket tool. There's no need to draw whatever image goes inside the frame, we can draw anything, but it isn't necessary. Our goal is to create the overall scene layout for animation. I'll press Ctrl+Enter to preview what we've drawn. I'll hide and lock this layer as well. Next, I'll create a new layer to design the sofa. I'll zoom in and start drawing the sofa with the pen tool. If you remember, we covered all these tools in previous lessons. I'll copy the shape I just created with Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V and move it to the other side of the sofa. I'll select it again, right-click, and flip it. After finishing the sofa, I'll lock and hide its layer since we don't need it for the moment. Now I'll design the cushions and also this cloth draped over the sofa. I'll create a new layer for the cushions and rename it. I'll color a cushion, hold Alt to make a copy, and place it here. I'll hold Alt again to make another copy. I'll make one more copy of the cushion. I'll double-click on the cushion shapes and convert them to objects. If we want one cushion to appear in front of another, press Ctrl+Up arrow. If we want it behind, press Ctrl+Down arrow. Both cushions need to be converted to objects for stacking order to work as expected. I'll darken the fabric and the cushions. If I press Ctrl+Enter, you can see the result. I'll adjust the cushion colors again to reach the shades I want. For the books, I'll create a new layer and continue drawing. After finishing the design, I'll turn on all the layers. As you can see, we've designed this entire scene and it looks pretty nice. I'll press Ctrl+Enter to preview the result. Here, you can see that this shape sits on top of the cushion but should go underneath. So I'll select its layer and move it below the cushion layer. Now you can see it's exactly under the cushion. I'll select that element as well, double-click it, and convert it to an object. So, we've designed the scene. I'll teach you how to create lighting and shadows in the next lesson so you can add them to the scene and make it look more natural. Even as it is, this scene looks great. We've turned a photo into an animation-ready scene. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. See you in the next video. Goodbye for now.